Have you ever wondered if it's possible to truly understand the nature of everything? I mean, completely, without a single shred of doubt? Well, today we're diving into one single verse from the Bhagavad Gita that makes that exact promise.
Now, to really get this, we have to know what came right before it. The previous chapter of the Gita ends with this incredibly powerful statement. It basically says that Krishna consciousness is the ultimate goal of all yoga. So with that stage set, we're about to hear Krishna himself tell his friend Arjuna exactly how to get there. All right, let's get right to the heart of our explainer today. We're going to look at the exact words spoken by the Supreme Lord, a direct, personal instruction on how to gain full, scientific knowledge of the Absolute.
Here it is in the original Sanskrit. This is verse 7.1 from the Bhagavad Gita. The entire instruction, the whole formula, is packed right into these ancient sounds.
And here's the translation. Just listen to that promise for a second. This isn't about getting a vague idea or just having faith. The verse lays out a method to know the absolute truth in full, free from doubt. It's literally a formula for complete understanding.
There are two words in here that are so key to understanding the goal. Asamshayam samagram. Asamshayam means without a doubt, and samagram means completely, or in full. So we're not talking about a fuzzy spiritual feeling here. This is a state of total, absolute, unwavering clarity.
So the big question is, how do we get there? Well, the key is hidden in plain sight, right there in Krishna's instruction. He says, "Hear from me." And you know, this isn't just a casual comment, it's the very first step on the entire path. Let's dig into what this simple act of hearing really means.
The original Sanskrit is tak shrunu. This is a direct command. It's telling us that the whole process of getting this perfect knowledge starts with a very simple but incredibly profound action: receiving information from the right source.
And check this out. In the practice of devotional service, or bhakti yoga, there are 9 main activities. And look what's number 1. It's Śravaṇam, hearing. Before anything else, before chanting, before remembering, the path begins with what we let into our minds through our ears. It's the foundation for everything that follows.
Okay, but here's the crucial part. The source matters a lot. According to the Purport, this hearing is powerful when it comes straight from Krishna, like in the words of the Bhagavad Gita, or from a pure devotee. And the text gives a specific warning. Be careful about hearing from someone who might be a great scholar but doesn't have that devotional understanding. The source is everything.
This brings us to the really big question, right? How on earth can just hearing something lead to such a massive result, complete knowledge with zero doubt? Well, the answer lies in the spiritual mechanics of what's actually happening inside. Yeah, really. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? How can listening have the power to completely rewire our understanding and just wipe away all our confusion? Well, the mechanism is actually laid out for us in another essential text.
So, the Srimad Bhagavatam basically gives us the behind-the-scenes look at the instruction in the Gita. It explains this amazing spiritual chain reaction, a clear cause and effect that starts with hearing and ends with perfect knowledge.
So here's the cause. The text says that just hearing about the Absolute is in itself a virtuous act. And when a person does this, Krishna, who's said to be right there in everyone's heart, acts like your best friend and starts this internal purification process.
And what's the effect of this purification? Well, it's like a deep cleaning of the heart. You start to become free from things like intense passion and ignorance. All those material desires, the greed, they start to fade away. They're literally wiped away.
So with all those impurities gone, a person can settle into a state of pure goodness. And from that stable place, they can finally cut through what the text calls the hard knot of material affection. Once that knot is cut, they just naturally feel enlivened, and it's then that they can finally perfectly understand the science of God.
And that brings us right back to where we started. This internal cleansing, this purification of the heart, is the very thing that makes it possible to reach that state Krishna promised. Asamshayam samagram. Complete understanding, totally free from doubt. It's not magic, it's a process.
So the big takeaway here is this idea of partial versus complete knowledge. Partial knowledge might be realizing the formless, all-pervading spirit, or the supersoul in the heart. But complete knowledge, the kind achieved through this process of hearing, includes all of that, plus a full understanding of the Supreme Person, us as living beings, and the material world, and how it all fits together.
And that really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? If this ancient wisdom is true, If the simple act of hearing has the power to purify our consciousness and lead us to complete understanding, then it makes you wonder, what are we choosing to fill our minds with every single day?